guys, welcome back to BellaVet. Today is a really special day because it's interview day. And for those of you that don't know, I go to the University of Missouri College of Veterinary Medicine. There are a bunch of us that are ambassadors, and all that means is I'm a current student who likes to help out with tours and things like interview day. So there's a lot of questions that I get about my vet school interview, and so I thought I'd bring you along today and show you what happens and what it's all about.
So, I would say when you're looking at your options, consider what feels like a good fit to you, because you are going to be spending more time with your faculty and your classmates than you're going to be spending with your family. So it's got to be a group that you want to spend that much time with. I think we've got a pretty vibrant faculty that's excited about what we do here. Woo! Yeah. Right on cue.
But when it's really nice, we have tables outside too that everyone goes and sits outside, whether it's in the grass or at the tables or anything like that. So that's really nice. And then they make home-cooked food here.
People are here to study in between their classes. We also have copies of your textbooks on reserve, which can be very helpful so that you don't necessarily have to buy each and every one of those expensive textbooks. And we are just one of many libraries on campus, so there's also a large health sciences library and Ellis libraries on main campus in the 24/5. If you ever really want to be in a library at 2 o'clock in the morning, there's a place for you. What else is good about the library?
It's a great study place. They have private study desks in the back corner, which is quiet. It's really nice to just be able to get those. They do sometimes run a little scarce because people are in here studying, especially if they like to private study. They'll go in those little cubbies, and it's just like a desk with a wall in front of you, where you can put your computer. And there are plugins along the wall too, so that's just a nice place to sit and be quiet if you're a lonely studier like me. And then there are really comfy couches too in here that sometimes people nap in. Not me, I've never done that, but I thought about it quite a few times. So yeah.
Oh, I know, it's exciting. Hello, sweetie. Yeah. Hi. Oh yeah, I got sniff. Hello.
This Piper and that's Sonic.
Aw, so cute, guys. So, you want to tell new people? Yeah, hi. Hi, sweetie. So this is Lauren, who helped us out on our tour today. We're feeling it today. Yeah, girl. And these are the blood donor dogs from Mizzou.
They're so good. They're so funny.
So good. And greyhounds have the universal blood type for dogs. And yeah, the school keeps them for 2 years and treats them like royalty, and they get walks every day, and they get lots of pets. And then there's usually a waiting list to adopt them out from the school, so they get a pretty good life. Yeah.
Absolutely. They love to play.
Mm-hmm. So Lauren walks them sometimes, but yeah, thanks for telling us about them.
Yeah.
And who's this one again?
This is Piper.
Hi, Piper. You're so cute. You are so cute. Hey, sweetie. Awesome. So hey guys, this is Doug. He is our recruiter at Mizzou, and yeah, it's a big day for you on interview day. So tell us a little bit about what today's about and why people should want to apply to Mizzou.
It is a big day, so thank you, Rachel. Thank you for not only having me, but hosting this, blog. I guess or vlog.
Yeah.
Vlog. So I'm old, but this is our second wave of out-of-state interviews. So we have applicants literally from across the country and from as far as Alaska and Puerto Rico. So we, as a recruiter, for me it's a big day because I go out and recruit and procure their interest to applying to Mizzou, and then hopefully coming here for an interview, and then subsequently being admitted so that they can graduate from our program, of which I'm so proud to represent. So it's a really good opportunity for us to basically showcase everything that you as an admitted matriculating student already is aware of.
Yeah, awesome. And so just are there a couple things about, I mean, I've talked about it, but hearing it from you, like what are some highlights for Mizzou's program that people should be aware of it that makes them different from other vet schools in the country?
You know, several factors in this. You know, I included in my presentations to pre-vet students, to the pre-vet prospective student population or audience, and that they should consider other things besides the DVM degree that they offer. Most prospective pre-vet students, particularly those who are right on the verge of applying, they are so focusing their efforts on trying to get in, that on the backside of things, they have a very limited scope of all of the other criteria that they should consider, you know, for admission or for qualification of the vet school. You know, the vet school is very scrutinous and very meticulous in their admission process, you know, and narrowing a stack of applicants from literally thousands down to, you know, a couple hundred, and then even fewer for those who are admitted. So we're very thorough in that process. So the students, to me, should be as diligent in that process as well. So, you know, for us, you know, I encourage the students to consider other criteria or other qualifications for them to make a very informed and educated decision, like looking at the student retention rate of each class, you know, how many students are admitted, and then you know, conversely, how many students graduate from that same class 4 years later. You know, how helpful and accessible are the faculty? How interactive are the students? You know, not only, you know, amongst or within their own class, but within, you know, the classes. You know, from one class to the other. You know, how helpful are they as a resource to help you pass, you know, some of the things that they've already experienced. You know, what is the board pass rate? You know, we offer 2 years of clinics. Clinical rotations, which is different than most other veterinary programs, as you well know.
Yeah, when people ask me why I chose Mizzou, that's one of the main points I always talk about is I'm going to get so much hands-on experience from being here that a lot of the other vet schools just didn't have to offer. So.
True. Yeah, and you have to consider that most veterinary programs, you will start clinics at the same time, and usually generally in the fall. Some may start in the early spring, you know, May, they'll start in clinics, but still, you know, if you start in your 4th year, you all are going to take the same thing, you all are going to have the same event occur at the same time no matter what, which occurs in the fall, and that is your national board exams. Your national boards basically are, again, a reflection of your preparation, your curriculum's preparation for that exam, because it is primarily clinically based. And you take that exam, and, you know, no offense or disparage to any other, you know, programs, but if you've only been in clinics, you know, for a short period of time, that's not a lot of preparation for the most important exam that you'll take during your veterinary tenure.
Like, I've heard people who take pathology, like before they take their boards exams, they love that because it's such a review of all of the different diseases and a lot of that kind of stuff. And yeah, like you're right, if you've only been in clinics a month or two, a lot of people probably haven't had a chance to take that, versus Mizzou, you've been in there almost a year, and there's a good chance that you've had a lot of review material just in, you know, without even studying. I mean, obviously you have to study, but outside of that, you know, just your day-to-day school.
I think it was this year or last year, our Veterinary Medical Diagnostics Laboratory, which is the department that houses all of the ologies, you know, the bacteriology, virology, immunology, parasitology, toxicology, subjects of which your NAVLE or National License Exam is largely comprised of, you know, disease and disease transfers and disease prevention, clinical pathology, and the diagnoses of those areas. They started this year a board preparation session, you know, for the students, and it was something that was not initiated by the students but initiated by the faculty. Which again is just another offering that I think helps sets us apart.
Yeah, and it goes to show how much the faculty really do care about, not just, you know, of course they care about the research and stuff like that, but they realize this is a school and that they care so much about their students.
And they want to see you succeed.
Exactly. So awesome. Well, thank you for talking to me today
My
and
pleasure.
talking to them. Thanks, guys.
this institution and this program, it pales in comparison to these guys. I oversee the student ambassador program. I train them on how to give tours. I train them on talking points, things that I advocate and promote when I go out and speak. But they're the ones that are going through it. You guys are literally one step from becoming them. True? This is the next phase. This is the culmination of all of your hard work over the course of however many years. Okay? And they are the ones who are experiencing all of the joys of vet school.
Right, I'm from Wisconsin.
I'm Lauren. I'm also a third year, and I'm from right outside St. Louis on the Illinois side of the river.
My name is Sarah. I'm from Kansas City, Missouri, and I am a second year.
My name is Rachel. I'm from Michigan and I'm second year.
All right, who's in class? First year, second year, what's your schedule? First year's first.
First year's is like 8 to 5, your first semester, pretty much every day, and you get like an hour or 2 for lunch. And then now it's like 9 to 6, pretty much every day. Apparently we go to 7 sometimes, which is not okay with me, 'cause I like food. That's it. You're in classroom for about half of the day, and you're in lab for half the day.
And how late do you study at night? Are you up till like midnight every night?
Usually I go home and like take like an hour or 2 to like eat, walk my dog, just like sit there in my bed, like recovering. And then I study for like 3 to 4 hours after that.
I personally am in bed at like 8 or 9 o'clock every night, but I'll get up like at 5 or 6 to study.
For second year, it's a lot shorter than we're in class, which is nice because you have most of your anatomy done. So our we sometimes like 8 to noon, 8 to 2. Now we have labs until 5 sometimes, but it's like 1 day a week, 2 days a week max. So
What about the clinic schedule?
yeah.
It depends on what rotation you're on. But most of the time you have to get to school sometimes between 7 and 8 a.m. On average day. You're usually not leaving until 5 to 7 p.m. That's the average for most of them.
You, for the most part, do get weekends off. Depending upon your service and rotation, sometimes you're on call for weekends, which is, sometimes you get called in, sometimes you're lucky and you don't. And obviously other rotations, you might be done sooner in the afternoon. Then, I'll go with my longest one, not that it was bad, but it was neurosurgery. We had a lot of cases those 2 weeks I was on. I was pulling 18-hour days for an entire week straight. I was there at 6 a.m. and I was lucky if I left at 10.
Wait, I feel a tear coming on.
I know, there's a little tear, but
about to
cry. Because I haven't, knock on wood, I haven't gotten called in very much here in my clinical experience, and I only have 3 months left, so I'm okay with changing it. There's 3 months left. You let it ride.
Some weekends you'll have patients that you have to come in and take care of that are here in the hospital, do TPRs, give them medications, that kind of thing.
For an example, I was here this morning at, 7 or 6:30. I don't really remember, kind of blur. And I'm on a rotation right now that normally gets done around like 4:30. And I was here till 8 last night because I got this really weird case that just really weird, and being transferred today, so it's not mine anymore. But it's just a really weird thing that sometimes it happens where you're here later, even on a rotation where you normally are done by 4:30, and I was here till 8:30 actually, I think last night. So.
I'd say clinics, you have more time for yourself, more time outside of school. Where that time gets made up is you need to be on top of your case. All right, now you're in that transition of you're an adult vet. You got to know your case, you got to know your patient, and you got to have some ideas of what's going on. The other part is you don't think about it right away, third years, but come May, June, you're going to start looking at your national board, signing up, and so with that extra time that you have, you'll be studying for your boards, and then you reach a time period like I'm at, you took it in November, and you're waiting for your score, so you're at that awkward period of, okay, Mizzou's pass rate is always top 3 in the country on our national boards, usually between 95 and 100% pass rate. But you're always afraid that you're going to be that 1 or 2 students out of your class of 113 that didn't. And so you're like, do I study? Do I don't study? Do I have to prep myself to study again? So yes, you have more time, but you've got to, it's a different use of your time. It's a good way to put it.
So, show of hands again, let's survey the audience. They know what I'm about to do. So, show of hands, students present in the room. How many of you guys really love your A's? No, he's proud. I mean, really. Yeah. Keep hands up. Keep hands up. Parents, I want you to look at this, all right? If you're a parent that's a DBN, you know what's about to happen. How many of you guys really like your C's? Oh! Wow! Look at there!
So, in undergrad, we were talking about this a bit at my table. I wrote everything out. I was one of those people that, like, my hand to my brain, that was the strongest connection. That's what I love. Some people are readers, some people, do other things, but that's how I got information into my brain. And I came to vet school, and there's a lot more information than I learned in undergrad. So it's a bit like opening the floodgates. There's so much more just material that you have to learn, and it's a bit more fast-paced. And so I was quickly realized that writing things down was not really efficient anymore. It wasn't really going to work. So I got a Surface Pro 3, the little tablet devices. And so I would download PowerPoints and I'll just annotate them as we're going through, so I don't have to rewrite everything, but I can still get that handwriting feel. And then I'll go home and I'll type up my notes, and that kind of slows me down, but it's, from reading, but it's a bit faster than writing. And then my second look through before a test, I'll make like a little sheet for myself, and I'll try to keep it to one page, and I'll just write the most important information, or the information that I'm having the hardest time remembering. So I'll really try to whittle it down, and if I have time to see it a third time, then I'll just read through it and only mark a couple things. And so I try to write less and less as I go, and really focus on the most important stuff. But yeah, that's how I kind of shifted from full writing to kind of a bit more hybrid version.
I'll take it. The next part, I've got a little bit different of a way. When I was an undergrad, I didn't really have to study too much. I still studied for some classes, but it wasn't too awful. I could do it the night before and just kind of get it done. When I got to vet school, I realized that was not ever going to be the case, and I needed to study way more than just one day. However, I usually only make it through the material one time. I go really slow, and I try to remember the information to the best of my ability. I don't try to go it as fast as I can as many times, which works for some people, or writing it out for some people, but I just go through the information one time and try to get as much as I can out of it, and I even quiz myself as I'm going through it, and then see how much I can retain, and that has what has been worked for me. That's cool. Time for yourself when you want to make time for
It's
yourself.
all budgeting, basically. You figure out when you need to study, when you don't. I took every Friday off during my didactic schooling, so I never studied on a Friday night. Some nights I was working instead because I worked in our ICU, but still I wasn't studying that night, I was doing something else. So that was my biggest thing, was every Friday night, school books did not ever get open.
You've got to take a break.
I can add to this one too. When, our first semester, the first 2 IPs, I was worried about my grades just because we didn't have any yet, and I didn't know if I could do this or if I was gonna get good grades or not. And so I said no to a lot of stuff that I wanted to do just because I was that worried about it. And then I came out of that IP and I did pretty well, and so I was like, okay, next goal is to say yes to more stuff. And so the next IP, I said yes to catching a drink with friends more, or going for hikes more, or going to coffee more. And I actually did really, really well in one of IP3, which is one of the harder first IPs. And so in that moment, I was like, okay, if I do more stuff for my mental health, and if I make sure that that is good, then my studying is actually more efficient, because I feel healthier, I feel better, and I don't feel like I'm in this cloud of sleep deprivation and everything. And so yeah, then the next IP I got a dog, and so every IP I've kind of I've learned to allocate that time for myself, and that it actually can help your studies because you're feeling better. So.
Definitely that mental health is key.
About the student resources, is there like, because us as parents want to make sure like kids stay healthy, like what if they get sick? Do you have like some health care program for these students here?
Well,
Very good question.
I just sprained my foot, so fell down one stair. That was it.
Wait, hold on, Rachel. So,
Singular stair.
see,
Yeah.
you guys have been so put together for so many years. You've been so calm and collected, and you've been good at multitasking and doing all these different things, and now you can't even navigate a step.
We had a farm exam that morning, so
You're up
I was
early.
a bit of a zombie that day. Yeah, I didn't even break it. I wasn't even like saving anyone. There's no cool part of the story. It was but when I went to undergrad, they also had like a healthcare facility, and it was not the best. So when my friends were like, "Oh, just go to like the Mizzou Student Health," I was like, "That's not gonna be great." And then I called up, and they're like, "Yeah, we can get you in like this evening." And I was like, "What? Like you can get me in the same day?" And yeah, I went in the same day, and I got an X-ray of my foot, and he's like, "Spoiler alert, not broken, but you still need crutches and a walking boot." And I was like, "Cool." And so I was really impressed with the student health.
Again, I second everything she said. You can call, get in the day of, usually later that afternoon. They ask you your availability. I have had no issues with any of the doctors. I can always.
Like Friday and Sunday nights, like professors will come in and do a review, and it's like, I don't really want to be here, but I want to come to that because they're taking time out of their time that they don't have to be here to come in and help us. So I guess I just think it's respectful to come in when they're helping us, but it's also super helpful.
And if you asked her to like come in for you, she comes in and she like sits with you. And if somebody else asks her a question, because there's usually lots of people in the anatomy lab like on a weekend or something, she'll like try to answer it, shortly, and then she'll get back to you. And it's only when you guys are done that she'll go and help other people and sit with them. So she really like stayed with you, which is awesome. I actually went to go see him my first year because I was like, I'm from Michigan, and when I moved here, I didn't know anyone in the state, and everyone I knew is like in this building. And after a while, like I was really missing my family, and I was feeling a little homesick. But it was kind of, I felt that when I went away to college the first time. I was like a couple hours away from home, but it was more than that. I felt like I was in this funk, and I couldn't shake it, and it lasted a weekend, and I was just like, it's so distracting from my studies. I need to feel better. I don't know what this is or why it's happening. I just couldn't, And so I emailed him, and I was like, hey, I don't really know what to call this, but like, can I just like come in and talk to you? And he was like, yeah, sure. And he explained to me like people have this when they totally cut all of their roots and move to a new place, and it's normal. It's a normal reaction to a pretty crazy circumstance. And he, it was amazing just how just talking about it fixed it. And then once I made friends and felt like I had some more connections here, I didn't feel like that anymore, and I felt a lot better. But yeah, it was a huge help.
And it's not like a stigma or anything here at all. Like a lot of us utilize him. Utilizing Dr. Karofa is not like, it's not like we recommend it. Like if you need to do what's best for you, school-wise, and if like that involves talking to him, doing whatever you need to do to be in a good mental state. We want the best. We want, like they were saying, we want everyone to succeed, and when someone isn't succeeding, it really hurts all of us. So, I just want you to do.